the first thing is more that you want to be seen, like to be exposed or expose something.
So you want to be seen.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to be seen. I have the desire, no? I have a desire that nothing is hidden from you, from other people, or to have not the limits that I not need to be protected. I have a big desire for this.
Okay.
No need to censor something. But sometimes I feel I cannot handle it, actually. It's more like making, like puts a filter that is kind of beautiful. Very few times I felt that that dancer is visible. Like I can see visibly on the body of a dancer, this is the situation now. In the studio I saw people dancing ballet and saw that, and that really fascinated me.
In that situation, in that
Yeah,
setting, yeah.
like as in a ballet class, I really saw this. And that's why I kept doing ballet, though I don't feel any, I don't know. Some said that in the studio is the point where you really look at what happens. But they said, don't do this on stage.
Okay.
Which made me sick all the time.
That they were saying that?
Yeah, they said, in the studio, let's see how is your body really. And if you really do the technique, you practice the technique, no? If you really do the technique. And one said, if you really do the technique, it's not gonna look good. Because there is another technique to look good on stage. You do the ankle like this, and then actually you have the ankle twisted, and you don't really extend the toes. But if you are in a certain angle on stage and you put the foot like this, it looks the line. No, it looks like the line is right.
Yeah.
For the audience.
For the audience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some teacher, he was doing like, he said, we are gonna do it correctly, no, for your body to go right, the line, no, find the alignment.
Yeah.
And then he was saying, in the studio you practice this. What is the line for your body?
Yes.
And for your bones. But to most dancers, because many dancers they were doing, like on the stage. in the mirror and looking how it looks nice. And then he said to them, don't do that, don't practice that in the studio, because you're gonna get destroyed.
Okay, yes.
And then he said, in the studio, you really do the technique for your body.
Yes.
And a different practice you have for the stage, for the audience, what looks good. But
yes.
If you do that every day, you're gonna get destroyed, like your feet are gonna be shit. In the studio, I never experienced ballet as a rigid technique. Never ever in my life. I thought, wow, really, it's so alive, I can search inside. I met so many teachers, how they searched, and I was like, that's it, no, that's a good technique. I always felt when I saw dance that the kind of vanity or the need to show more, something of yourself or something beautiful of yourself blocked my vision and my feeling. And in my work I try to sense when there is this kind of vanity and put it out, like leave it away, so that something else can be visible. Something I don't know.
Yeah.
I also relate to the invisible, and something I haven't seen before and haven't thought before and was not accessible for me. So how can I create a situation that this appears in the performance? Kind of vanity comes because there is a fear of the audience, and because of the way I see the audience, not because of how they see me. What are they for me, and how do I see them? Then they can see something else of me. But going to the studio to improvise. And there was something I could not connect with her, like we work with touch, we try to improvise, and I felt there was always, I cannot enter this, I cannot, I don't understand anything.
Okay.
And they were spending long time to talk, and at some point we went to the river and she read to me a story about being there and about being split inside.
Mm.
And she had drawings, and she showed me a drawing of a circle. It was like this, and it was kind of, was not like you have the O, but one part is missing. But it was like here and a gap, and a line and a gap.
Okay.
And then she started telling me the story of herself and how she was small and a house grew around her and then a forest grew around her. And I remembered for 2 months we were writing to each other, and all her stories were like this, about the forest, and I'm another refugee, me, like she told me, you are another refugee in the forest, and there was her animals, and I was hearing, I realized I was hearing the stories, but I was not accepting them. Like something was not accepting them.
Okay.
And
because she felt a connection to you?
I felt connection to her also,
yeah.
But I could not say how. She was telling me many stories about how she is related to me, and that she had a friend for years, imaginary friend, and it was me. Finally she found me, and I was a bit like, okay, it's nice to be creative, but like, right, you are so creative and you are so crazy, but let's also touch and have some physical interaction. But it was never working, like impossible. And at some point after spending a long time with her, and I was like, either I accept this or I go, like there is no other possibility. And then that night when she read to me this story with the forest, I was like, okay, let's touch the space around her. There is a house and there is a forest around her. And all the night I stayed awake, I made drawings to see her like this, like that's what you see, that's how I will see you. And then the next day we went to improvise in the studio, and I started, okay, I was like, I can see the forest. And I approached her as if there was this forest around her, or going through the twists with the branches, whatever I imagined. And it was really, it totally transformed everything.
Okay.
And also the talking, and I was like,
And then something
I worked
changed.
on believing her. I worked on believing her.
Yes.
That this is the space around her body. There is a whole forest I must pass through.
Yes.
When I
want to dance with her.
When I want to dance with her, when I want to talk to her, and I must accept there is a forest around this person. I cannot just touch her knee like this. And from the moment I accepted that, it is not what my eyes see, but I make my eyes see what somebody believes. And different things emerged. She showed me a book of her, 2 books actually written about this character, which was her friend, and it was me. She didn't know, I don't know, it was her connection, but also then I felt, I accept this. It's okay. You see me like this, I am this. Then from that place I could speak to her and reach her and maybe change the track. But before I did this, whatever I said to her was like no banging on the wall. And I first had to accept that this is that's how she sees, and I have to see her too like this, and to do something there. Otherwise I can only agree or disagree or be lost, but
I will never. Yeah, we will never enter the. We will never have a journey together.
Yeah.
There's in this story for me there is something very practical actually, which is about the space around the body, and it's a very technical thing. Also,
Yeah.
very much dance thing, and I. Often in dance, you work with the space around the body, like you have a kind of bubble and you have the personal sphere, and then you enter the sphere with lines.
Yeah.
That's somehow
How it works.
Somehow, most workshops I went, that's how people work with it. And it's a very geometrical or understanding, and then you enter the space of the other. It's also very visible in that sense of visible, invisible. Yeah, like you put an arm in the space of the other and you already cross the space.
Yeah, and you will get a reaction.
Yes, and then that's called and also it's direct. And if it's indirect, they go like this. But there is no, there's nothing invisible there, or if you have anything invisible, you must put it away. That's what I feel mostly. It's very technical to me information. If somebody tells me he has a forest, how to work with its forest. If somebody tells me that they have a fountain, how can I work with a fountain? Some people have other perception of their body, and it's very true. They live with it. It's true for them.
Yes.
And I don't want to create techniques that erase that. The base of a technique is to take that out.
Yeah, to work with the visible anatomical body.
Yeah, and to train, and I think it's an injury done to me when I train myself to cut this sense that sometimes I have the sense for somebody. There is something and I respect that space. Because a person needs so much space, cannot be touched like this. And I feel with techniques of touch is an injury done to say there is nothing to somebody, there is nothing. When somebody lives with that, or that I am trained, I'm objective now. I see there is nothing. I can tell you there is nothing. So that in general for art, I think art is the only place where I can live with this and
with the invisible.
With the invisible, with accepting. I don't know, somebody has monster hands and they are this for this person, and not only I can live with this and accept or tolerate, but I can create from there and expand my mind, not be sick. Actually, I feel I'm sick more and more when I feel there is only the visible and that's it, and there is the objective and that's it. Then I feel the sickness is coming.
Yes.
I wish to meet. That was always my conflict with dance technique. That I feel it rips off all the. It makes the skin hard, and there is no more.
Nothing
No more
around it.
monsters coming out. No more monsters coming out. Like that's also my in a sense. Also of my eye on the stage, that I feel when I look at the bodies, like the outline is so sharp that I cannot see anything anymore, and the lights are put so that the outline is sharp, and there is nothing else comes, and I cannot create anything. Also as an audience, I just eat this, and then it's nice or not nice, but there is nothing else possible.